So the affixes is something that we've been asking to get changed, and we've talked about this before. But one of the worst affixes, in my opinion, was Afflicted in Dragonflight, where you had to dispel the shades or whatever, right? And Blizzard admitted that this is a problem because what happens if there's like another dispel that you have to do on a person, right? You have to choose between not dispelling your tank and then dying or dispel the affix and not wiping, right? They admitted that this is a problem, and now we have the same affix, right? Okay, it's not a shade, but you still have to dispel the person, and there are a
Right.
lot of problems when, let's say, the last boss in Siege of Borealis, where you the dispels there are mandatory. It's two of them. So now the affix pops up and you have to hold your dispel. Like, what's going on there? So I know there's other affixes, but let's tackle this one first. I think this was a very bad decision, and looking at your expressions, I guess you guys are in the same opinion. But let's give it a shot.
I'm gonna have controversial, so I'll jump in. I don't mind it. I mean, on
Don't.
my disc no, on my
Out.
disc
You're
crease,
banned.
man, controversial.
We'll
This
continue
crease,
just
it
the two
feels
of
so
us.
easy. You master spell one, and then the second one you just blast off, and it's like I can ramp in a couple seconds as disc
Yeah.
crease, and it's off. And the master spell's nice. My shaman, I run my totem, and I guess the second one it could be a little bit more rough. But I don't mind it. I haven't played a lot of my Druid this season to know how it feels on Druid, and Druid is already APM heavy for me. That's why I don't play it anymore because my old man hands just are dead after 2 keys. I can't do it anymore. But I don't mind it too much. I actually kind of enjoy that thrill of, oh my god, there's so much damage going out, and we got this stupid thing, and I don't have MD. Oh well, I'll just radiance and blast my pet and go, and it's off in like two void blasts and the thing is over. So it's like, it's not as bad, but and then shaman, same thing. So I don't mind. I can't think of one besides the 15 seconds. I don't mind any of the Kiss Curse ones. I'm okay with them. I think it's a nice change to just having the running the same dungeon over and over. As long as they can fix the kind of really ugly overlaps we saw in the very beginning of the season, where like the orbs were going through the water and on Siege of Brows and things like that, or under the like the
Yeah.
weird vertical instances where the orbs just didn't know what they were doing. They've worked through some of that, and so that's even doesn't bother me. It's just it could be ugly, but it's just an annoyance that we got to get around, and it doesn't really bother me. But that's my take. I'll let you guys go.
Let's have a more realistic take. LB, you go.
Okay, look. This affix is horrible. I did not like Afflicted, okay? Afflicted sucked
Yep.
because we pug, right? 8 out of 10 keys, I was having to dispel them both, which, that's not a problem because how much did you have? You had like 10 seconds to get
You
both
gotta be
Yeah,
off,
you could get
yeah,
both.
something
and
like that.
and your dispel timer is 8 seconds, so you had time to do it. But what if there's a dispel mechanic?
Mhm.
Then all of a sudden you're screwed. And like like whenever I play my main, which is Mistweaver Monk, like none of these affixes are really a problem, especially this current one. Like you have so many ways to get rid of it, like revival, like mass dispel if you need it in a pinch, or like Shayloons, I can just clear it.
Mhm.
But since I'm playing my alts, it kind of just highlights. I think it's just like a small example that highlights the biggest issue as a healer right now, and that's like the the disparity between the classes, like how much of a gap there is between them, not just in how much throughput, but like utility. Because like you said, Druid, I remember the first week that Affix came out, I had just started the push on my Druid, and I don't think I slept that week. It was so bad. You have like no ways to get rid of it. No one was clearing their own. And mind you, I was doing like +2s, +4s, so like easy keys, but you bet those affixes were going to heal the enemies. So it's just like, God, it was the slowest push week.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
I mean, it's not even that it's like hard. Like I don't think anyone's complaining that it's like hard or it makes the dungeon harder. It just makes your time as a healer more stressful and frustrating because like you said, if a dispel mechanic goes off, like Mist of Tyr and a Scythe, such an easy dungeon. I love doing Mist of Tyr and a Scythe unless it's that weak, because one, you can either get it right as you have to run around and solve the puzzle, which is a healer affix, by the way, Or if that like fox jumps to your ally and like puts a dispel debuff on him,
Yeah.
and you have to dispel that, and then here's Zalatath, wiggling her feet in front of our cameras, and now all we have to do is just press our buttons. It is so miserable because like you'll have everyone who had. I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm having war flashbacks. Everyone has the talents that can dispel their own, but they don't use them.
Yeah.
Use it. It's one global. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I
Uh,
think this is the main problem because this affix is considered to be a healer affix, right? Because technically you can heal through it. And I
Yeah.
think Saucy J has it a little bit easier there playing this because, okay, you have the
Oh,
Mass
yeah.
Dispel, and then if you pop your Mind Bender, you can actually probably heal through it.
In like 2 globals,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
5 are gone. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
but in like if you play a different class, specifically Druid and stuff, like if you try to heal through this stuff, it doesn't work, man. You have to like pop cooldowns.
Yeah.
Because like the first
And-
time
and-
I saw, yeah, go ahead.
If you not only do you pop cooldowns, you cross your fingers that your convoke chooses that
Yeah,
target. Because imagine you
exactly,
pop
right.
convoke, no regrowths go that way. Like, what are we
Yeah.
doing?
Even
I'm
on
sorry.
my shaman, the first time I saw it, I was like, I because it popped like I didn't know what affixes this week. I go into my key and I didn't have the poison cleansing totem, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna heal through this. So I tried to heal through the first one, didn't work, right? So
Right.
I go to the next one and I'm like, okay, let me pop a cooler this time, see if I can heal through it. All right, I pop a cooldown, I heal through it, and then I did this 2 more times. Then the boss comes, I have no cooldowns because I used them to heal the affix, right? So I think that the notion that this is a healer affix is wrong. I guess they added the healing option just like as a backup if something goes wrong and there's a second one that you can dispel, stuff like that. But the fact that you can heal through it, people now consider this to be more of a healer affix. And as LB said, they're not using their own dispels. Not to mention that some classes don't have the spells, because
Right.
like this week when I was going into keys, if I see like a warrior and a DK as a DPS, I'm like, I'm not going into this group, man. you know.
Warrior can cleanse their own.
Well,
They
I'm
couldn't
not
do
sure.
afflicted. They
The
had
afflicted
something.
was it could be like for example the rogue can do it as well, but it has like a cooldown, so they cannot do
A 3
every
minute or
yeah
something.
they cannot do
Yeah.
every affix and stuff like that, right? So this kind of adds to the fact that this is very bug unfriendly because first you're dependent on your group, right? You need to have the right people that are able to dispel, because I can tell you I've run some keys where if people they all have the spells and if they use them, it's like the affix is not there, right? You don't care. I don't mind it in those situations as well. But if it's a bug and people are not pressing their buttons and then they could end up blaming you because you're the healer, then that feels really bad, right?